Eastern won nearly 80% of its Little East Conference regular season games with Darcy Mund Lucas, who was the first four-time all-conference selection in Eastern women's basketball history. Darcy started 106 of her team's 107 games, the first 32 in the last 74, and led the Warriors in assists every season and in steals and in minutes 3 times. In Darcy's career, Eastern averaged more than 20 wins per season and qualified for the NCAA tournament twice after sharing the Little East regular season title. In her senior year, Eastern won a record 26 games and recorded the best season winning percentage in 29 years. Darcy graduated as a 1,000-point scorer and as the program's all-time leader in assists. At graduation, she ranked second all-time in assists per game, third in steals and three-point field goals, and fourth in three-point percentage.
It is my pleasure to be speaking on behalf of Darcy Mund Lucas. I knew that Darcy was special when I recruited her from Ram High School almost 20 years ago. There was never a doubt that we needed Darcy at Eastern to advance our program. Darcy and her classmates were instrumental in making Eastern women's basketball become relevant at a national level. I am forever grateful to Darcy for all she did for our program. Darcy was part of a very special class that included Kristen Grassi-Leary and Joanna Debicki. Those three made up quite the group. We had so many fun times on and off the court. We won many games during Darcy's 4 years, but the relationships, team trips, bus rides, team dinners, and yes, practices that we all experienced together made up many wonderful memories. Darcy worked hard, was extremely coachable, was a pressure player, and was a winner in every sense of the word. The thing that stands out to me the most is that Darcy played with such heart. Coaches say that, but I feel her and I lived it. There were so many games that I could give Darcy a look or a gesture that we needed one more stop or what set to run, and she would always respond and dig in. Her heart and passion are what made her extraordinary and made her teammates want to follow her lead. Darcy was one of the best point guards we have ever had here at Eastern. I have always felt that Darcy and I were a great fit. I think the fact that I also played point guard created a special relationship with Darcy. She was an extension of me on the court and one of the best passers I have ever seen. She always knew where her teammates wanted the ball. Darcy played with 2 Eastern Hall of Famers, Jennifer Zabek and Allison Coleman. They would not have accomplished all they did without Darcy. She made everyone around her better, and that is the ultimate compliment for any basketball player. Everyone on the team wanted to play with Darcy. Darcy was also a tremendous defensive player and never saw a steal she did not think was hers. This got her into trouble sometimes when she was a freshman because she would gamble on plays. But as her career went on, she did a great job by always pressuring the other team's point guard and getting those steals that were really hers. Darcy set the tone for all the teams she played on as to how we were going to play defense, especially during her junior and senior seasons. I also will never forget the year after Darcy graduated, how she and her husband Eric drove with Allison Coleman's family all the way to Indiana to watch us play in the Final Four. I believe they were shoved in the back of a van for about 14 hours. She was so supportive of that team, and she helped get the program to that point, even though she was done playing. Darcy comes from a great family. Today is a time to celebrate Gary and Debbie's daughter, and also for me to thank her family and her friends for supporting her decision to attend Eastern all those years ago. Congratulations, Darcy. The entire program is proud of you. It was truly my honor to have been your coach and to now call you a friend.
Darcy was the consummate teammate. She really had a positive, strong presence on the court, in the locker room. You know, all those things matter as a team, and she was just a great person, I always say she was so much fun to be around.
Darcy was a great leader. She was definitely an on-the-court presence. She was our rock when we, when we were kind of down or things were getting a little bit frazzled. We would kind of turn to her, and she would have that confidence on the court, and she would, have more confidence in us than we would, and she would say, like, you got this, and if I pass you the ball, you can score, and you can do this.
Darcy was always a confident player, and in the best way possible. Never with a chip on her shoulder, just sort of this natural talent that she just easily exposed to everyone who was, lucky enough to see her play.
I think Darcy was definitely one of the most complete players. I think she had, confidence offensively, defensively, shooting, passing. I think depending on who she was on the floor with at that time, I think she really kind of used, whatever quality she needed at the time.
Darcy was such a threat on the court. She was everything. She could do everything. She was that type of player that would be really hard to put on, to prepare for on someone else's scouting report. She could penetrate. She distributed the ball so well. She could see the floor so well. She did all those things that a point guard was supposed to do.
Before the games, she would always have a goal. So let's say, for the game against Keene, she's going to stop number 25, every single time she comes down the floor. Or for the next game, maybe it was we're playing Southern Maine and she's gonna get it into the post, 10 extra times. She always had a goal.
She was aggressive, and she was just smooth. She could rebound the ball. She could defend. She got a ton of steals, and how much better could it be when you could steal the ball and take it yourself, down the other end of the court.
She had a lot of confidence in me and made me better as a player, and I was definitely kind of in awe of how great she already was, as a freshman. And we had a great friendship that continued on, even till today.
At this time, it gives me a great pleasure to present as a 2016 inductee into the E-Club Hall of Fame, Darcy L. Mund Lucas.